And last Sunday, I spoke to you about Mahaprabhuji and his teachings. His teachings are mainly concentrated in the form of 8 verses known as the Ashtapadi and Shikshashtakam. These 8 verses are filled with knowledge which will enhance our devotion. I spoke about 4 of these verses last time. Now 4 more are going to be talked about today. Gauranga Mahaprabhu has told us about Trinadapi Sunichena, the importance of being humble. He says, be more humble than a blade of grass. Tarorapi Sahishnuna, be more tolerant than a tree. Amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. This is one of the verses that I spoke about last time. Do not desire respect from others, but do respect one and all, and then you are ready to practice devotion. You are ready to take the name of God. He has told us that our love should be selfless. Ashlishya padaratam pinashtumam adarshanan marmahatang karotuva yatha tatha va vidadhatu lampato mat prananathastu sa eva naparaha. He addresses Shri Krishna and says, "Oh, my Lord, it does not matter to me how you behave towards me. There are only 3 ways in which you may behave towards me. You may embrace me lovingly, you may push me away, or you may become neutral towards me. But no matter how you treat me, I shall always love you and only you. You will remain my one and only." So Gauranga Mahaprabhu has taught us the importance of selfless love, love that does not want anything in return, not even love in return for love. He has also said, Yugayitam nimeshena chakshusha pravrishayitam shunyayitam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me. O Govind, when will the day come when separation from you will be so intense within my heart that each and every moment that passes will seem like an endless age that refuses to pass. Every moment will become so long, and the whole world will seem shunya, it will seem like it's hollow. There's nothing of interest over here. When will the day come? And the 4th verse that I spoke about last time is Nadhanam na janam na sundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhakti rahaitu ki tvai. O Sham Sundar, I do not desire wealth, I do not desire followers, I do not desire beautiful female, I do not desire poetic license. I desire only one thing, and that is to remain your selfless devotee lifetime after lifetime. Every time that I take birth as a human, I want to be devoting my life to you and only you, and that too selflessly devoted to you. So now let's proceed with the 5th verse, and I'm not speaking this in any specific order. Gauranga Mahaprabhu says, Nam namakari bahudha nij sarva shaktis tatrarpita niyamita smaranena kalah etadrishi tava kripa bhagavan mamapi durdaivami drishamiha janina nuragah. He asks Shri Krishna a question. First of all, he says, my Lord, you are so merciful that you have given me countless names of yours to chant. God has countless names. Shri Krishna has countless names. Krishna is just one of them. The Vedas say, Kam Brahma, Ka, Kha, Ga, Gha. All these consonants and all vowels of every language are in fact names of God. Yashoda Maya never called Shri Krishna, Krishna. She called him Kanua. That is one of his names. He has countless names, so you can make up a name also. You've given us countless names of yours to chant. There is so much variety, unlimited variety. And then in every name of yours, you are sitting. You have seated yourself equipped with all your powers and all your sweetness. So, my Lord, my question is this. I chant your name, but I don't see any difference from within. I don't experience any internal transformation. I'm not becoming a better person. Why is this? And he answers his own question by saying, Janinanuragaha. And this is because I chant your name without any love for you. There's no love in my heart as I chant your name. I chant your names mechanically. Like a parrot says Ram, 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 without knowing the meaning of the name Ram, who Ram is to us. What is the greatness of Ram? The parrot doesn't know any of that. The parrot has been taught to chant Ram, 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 and it does so. Similarly, we chant Ram, 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 Sham, 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 Sham. We chant the names of God mechanically. There's no anurag. And the Ramayana says, Milahina Raghupati Binu Anuraga Kiye Jog Jap Gyan Viraga. The Supreme Lord can be attained only through love, anurag. So, O Shri Krishna, I am not changing. I don't see any benefit inside my heart as I chant your names, because it is my great misfortune, he says. It is my great misfortune that despite chanting your names, I am not seeing any benefit. What is the misfortune? That is that I chant your names without love. So Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he revived the Sankirtan movement. People had forgotten that they should chant the name of God. They had forgotten what the Purans say, Hare Namaiva, Namaiva, Namaiva Mama Jivanam, Kalau Nastyeva, Nastyeva, Nastyeva Gatiranyatha. In Kali Yuga, the only method of uniting the mind with God is chanting of the holy name. There is no other way, no other way, no other way. 3 times it has been said. And Gauranga Mahaprabhu appeared in 1486. He graced the world in 1486. And so this was Kali Yuga. It was only a little over 500 years ago. And people of Kali Yuga were forgetting that the only method that is recommended for this age is the chanting of the holy name. So he reminded everyone. He came to this world, and by chanting the name of God with tears falling from his eyes, he reminded everyone that this is what we must all do. Once Jagadguru Shri Kripalu Ji Maharaj, my guru, he was very young at that time, and he had become a Jagadguru at the age of 34. But he looked even younger than 34. And he decided to grace an individual who had memorized the entire Ramayana, Ramcharitmanas. There are many versions of the Ramayana, the Ramcharitmanas by Goswami Tulsidas. Shri Maharaji was always very humble, and he had no qualms about visiting someone. And he was kept waiting when he visited this man, because this man was a very important man. And so his attendants said, "Oh, Swamiji is not available right now. You may wait." Shri Maharaji said very humbly, "I shall then wait." He waited, and when he was allowed the opportunity to see this gentleman, Shri Maharaji said, "I have heard that you have memorized the entire Ramcharitmanas." "Yes, I have. Yes, beta, I have." And this man thought that this is a boy, a college boy perhaps, visiting him. Shri Maharaji said, "May I ask what you were just doing?" Now, saints are all-knowing. God gives to them the power of omniscience. So Shri Maharaji knew what this man was doing, but asked innocently, "May I ask what you were just doing?" And the man said, "Beta, I was doing puja." "Oh, but you have the whole Ramayana memorized, don't you?" Yes, you know that. But then my question is, why were you doing puja? Why weren't you doing Nam Sankirtan? You know what the Ramayana says. Ehi kalikal na sadhan duja. Shri Maharaj has just said Ehi kalikal, and the scholar of the Ramayana, he completed the chaupai. Na sadhan duja, jog na jap tap brat makh puja. Ehi kalikal, in this Kali Yuga, puja is not the recommended method for uniting the mind with God. Fasting is not the recommended method for uniting your mind with God. Yoga, the path of yoga, is not the recommended method for this age. And Shri Maharaji then said also, Kali Jug keval hari gun gaha, gavat nar pavahi bhavatha. Every chaupai, every verse that Shri Maharaji started, the scholar finished, completed, because he knew the entire Ramayana. Shri Maharaji said, "Forgive me, but I wish to ask that you are a scholar of the Ramayana, and yet you are doing puja. This does not make sense." So the scholar took offense, and he also thought that this is someone who has come to harass him. So he said, no, you don't understand. Abhi bacche ho. You're still so young, you don't understand these things. He dismissed Maharaji like that. But now the same scholar, he had heard about Jagadguru Shri Kripalu Ji Maharaj, that he is a 34-year-old young man, and he has never studied the scriptures. He does not have a guru. And yet, 500 greatest scholars have bowed before him, and they have declared to the whole world that he is the 5th Jagadguru, Guru of the entire world. And he also knew that Shri Maharaji has been accepted as Jagadguru Tam, the best of all Jagadgurus who have come to this world. Before him, there were 4. So they said, no, you are the best of all. You are not only Jagadguru, 5th Mool Jagadguru, you are Jagadguru Tam. This scholar knew this. And he was waiting anxiously to hear a discourse by Jagadguru Shri Kripalu Ji Maharaj. So that evening, when he went to the discourse, he was sitting in the front row. And he saw Shri Maharaji coming in. Now Shri Maharaji was dressed differently. And he was amazed. He was so shocked to see, this is the same Jagadguru Shri Kripalu Ji Maharaj had visited me. I didn't know, I didn't recognize him. And I dismissed him as just a man who's an atheist. So now the scholar had tears in his eyes. Shri Maharaji looked at him with a lot of compassion in his eyes, as if to say, I didn't come to harass you, I came to grace you and to awaken you to the fact that you, of all people, should know that puja and yoga and yajna, havan, these are not the recommended methods of uniting the mind with God in this age. If you don't know, then how will others know? You are teaching others, you should know. Gauranga Mahaprabhu revived the Sankirtan movement. He taught everyone to chant the holy name with love. When he chanted the holy name, the names of Shri Radha Krishna, there were always tears flowing from his eyes. His voice would get choked up. There was as if a lump in his throat. He could not utter the names very properly. And he would fall down and become unconscious. He would get tremors. And he taught everyone to chant the holy name with a lot of feeling, with lots of love. So, O Shri Krishna, my misfortune is that I don't see any benefit despite chanting your name, and the misfortune is that I don't have any love for you as I chant your name. Now, the 6th verse of Mahaprabhuji. He glorifies Sankirtan, the chanting of the holy name. Cheto darpana marjanam bhavamaha davagni nirvapanam shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadhu jivanam anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnamrita swadanam sarvatmasnapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. So beautifully, Mahaprabhuji says, chanting of the holy name, Sankirtan, it is so powerful that it fully reveals the nectar of God's name. The sweetness that is in Shri Krishna's name, Sankirtan, loud chanting of his names and his glories and pastimes, fully reveals that sweetness that we are thirsty for. And when you chant the names of Shri Krishna with love, and the layer upon layer of worldliness that is in the mind, it gets washed away. Chanting the holy name with love washes away the impurities of the mind. It renders the mind pure. We don't chant for just because we like to sing. We chant because it unites the mind with God. And when we are thinking about God, then the impurities in the mind get washed away. So Gauranga Mahaprabhu tells us the importance and the power of the holy name, and the power that we can all experience by chanting the holy name. Then he says, Nayanam galada shrudharaya vadanam gadgadaruddhaya gira pulakair nichitam vapuhkada tava nama grahane bhavishyati. O Shri Krishna, when will the day come when there will be an endless stream of tears flowing from my eyes as I sing songs of your glories? When will the day come when I will get all choked up as I chant your names? When will I get goosebumps on my skin? When will my body hair rise? When will I get goosebumps as I chant your names? Bhagwan Shri Ram says in Ramcharitmanas through Tulsidas Ji, Mam gun gavat pulak sarira gad gad gira nayan bahanira. As you sing my names, Mama Gun Gavat, as you chant my glories and my attributes, 3 reactions should be experienced by you on your physical body. Pulak sarira gad gad gira nayan bahanira. Pulak sarira, sharir pulkit ho jana chahiye. You should experience goosebumps on your skin. Secondly, gad gad gira, there should be a lump in your throat that will hinder you from taking my name properly. You should sing my names with a choked voice. Thirdly, nayana bahanira, tears should be flowing from your eyes as you sing my names and my glories. Many, many saints have glorified the importance of shedding tears. They have emphasized the importance of shedding tears. One of these saints is Mirabai. Her bhajans, we've all heard them. They are so sweet, so melodious, so wonderful. They put us in touch with Shri Krishna. Mirabai says, Asuvan jal sinch sinch प्रेम बेल बोई अब तो बेल फैल गई आनंद फल होई. She says, I have nurtured the vine of love for Krishna with water flowing from my eyes, with my tears. I have shed tears, and that is why the vine of love has grown in my heart. Love for Krishna has increased. It is growing because I have shed tears for him. Another saint who has emphasized the importance of tears is Sant Kabir Das, who says, Kabira hasna dur kar, rone se kar preet, bin roe kin paiya, prem pyaro meet. O sadhak, O aspiring devotee, you must cry for him, for the Lord. Because if you do not cry for him, you will never reach him. No one has ever reached him without shedding tears for him. Tears are very dear to the Lord. Tears are very dear to Shyam Sundar. He just loves tears. Jagadguru Shri Kripalu Ji Maharaj has composed poetry in not only in Braj Bhasha, but also in Urdu and Arabic, without ever having learned these languages. And of course, he never learned Braj either. He did not ever speak Braj Bhasha. But being who he is, he knows all languages, and he has composed in both Braj Bhasha as well as in Sanskrit, as well as in Urdu and Arabic. Sher Shairi, as you know, Shri Maharaj used to do a lot of that, much to our delight. One of them is this. दर्दे दिल इतना पसंद आया उसको, दर्दे दिल इतना पसंद आया उसको, मैंने जब की आह उसने वाह की. दर्दे दिल इतना पसंद आया उसको, मैंने जब की आह उसने वाह की. When I sighed, when I took sighs, deep sighs, when I said, oh, Krishna, oh, Shyam Sundar. And when I cried for him, he said, Wah, how wonderful that my devotee, my bhakta is crying for me. My bhakta is taking long sighs for me, because he loves it when his devotee cries for him. Our tears show our true love. Granted that we are not crying for some other reason. Granted that we are not crying because we have lost a lot of our wealth, or we have lost a dear one, or we have been insulted by someone. Granted, we are not crying for some worldly reason. Shri Krishna loves tears. Jagadguru Shri Kripalu Ji Maharaj says, keep on crying for him. Shri Maharaj talked a lot about tears. He has given thousands upon thousands of lectures, and then his general talks, when he talked to devotees, oh, I cannot even begin to tell you the sweetness of those talks that he gave so liberally and so wonderfully, giving so much of his time to us. When he would sit in the angan, in the courtyard, and he would just speak. He would laugh, and he would make us laugh, and he would make us cry, and he would give so much knowledge, and it was just like a child's play to him, and he gave so much knowledge to all the devotees who were sitting there. And he always emphasized the importance of tears, and he shed those tears himself. All the devotees have seen Shri Maharaj Ji shedding tears. And because he shed tears, we shed tears. We were so affected by the fact that he was so affected by taking the holy name that those tears were contagious. He made us cry for God. He made his devotees cry for God. He inspired us to love God. He inspired everyone to love Radha and Krishna. And he didn't just talk about it, he actually showed us what true love looks like. We could see it on his body. When he was chanting the names of Radha and Krishna, when he was glorifying Radha and Krishna, his voice would break. His voice would be choked up with emotions. There were so many tears coming from his eyes, and sometimes he would just fall down. He would start dancing in ecstasy, and then he would fall down. And he would dance like there were no bones in his body. He would dance with so much grace. And he would lose consciousness. And he would cry. His complexion would become pale. His voice would change. According to scriptures, there are certain symptoms of love. How can you detect love for God within someone? He will try to hide it because gopaniyam, gopaniyam, gopaniyam prayatnataha. It is the nature of love to keep itself a secret. A true lover of God keeps his love a secret, so he doesn't reveal it. Also because he's humble. He doesn't say, look, I have so much love for God. Do you? No. He hides that love. But we need to detect that love because we need to accept a true saint as a guru. So the Bhagavad has said that there are certain symptoms, certain signs of love. When a saint can no longer hide that love that he has for God within him, it comes out with great force. It's like cooking in a pressure cooker. Many of you have cooked in a pressure cooker. Pressure cooker does what the name suggests. There's a lot of pressure being built inside. So the steam is building, and it's building more and more and more and more. And then it cannot be contained within this vessel, so it comes out with a great swoosh. And if you're not expecting it, you're shocked. What was that noise? Oh, it was a pressure cooker. It comes out with great force because it was being contained. In the same way, the love for God that was being kept a secret within the saint's heart, when it cannot be contained any longer, it comes out, and when it comes out with great force. Sometimes that saint, that true lover of God, sometimes he laughs, thinking the Lord to be with him. Sometimes he cries profusely, thinking the Shamsundar has left him. Sometimes he dances with great joy. His voice changes. He gets goosebumps on his skin. His complexion becomes pale. Aahe sardo, range zardo, chashmitar, intazari bekarari besabar, kam guftano, kam khurdano, khwabe haram, ashikara no nishan. It has been said that love there are 9 symptoms of love, well, whether it's worldly love or love for the divine. Aahe sardo, the one who is in love with someone, that lover, he takes long sighs, aahe sardo, long cold sighs. When will I see her? When will I see him? Meera is saying this to Shamsundar, and Laila and Majnu are saying this for one another. One is loving the Supreme, another is loving a worldly man or a worldly woman. Aahe sardo. Range zardo, face becomes pale. Chashmitar, eyes are shedding tears. Intazari bekarari besabar, the one who is in love, he waits for the beloved, and he's very anxious and very restless. He loses interest in speaking. Kam guftano, kam khurdano, he loses interest in eating. Khwabe haram, and he cannot sleep at night. He has many sleepless nights. He keeps tossing and turning. These are the 9 symptoms of love, whether worldly or love for the divine. But the end result is very different. Don't think that the end result is the same. One leads the worldly love, which is really attachment, is not true love, because true love is free of selfish desires. In the world, we can only have attachments to one another. So that so-called love, when it reaches its highest level, then the person dies. When he cannot no longer tolerate the separation from the beloved, he dies. But in the other, love for the divine, in that love, Mirabai, she attains immortality. So one dies, the other attains immortality, attains God, God's kingdom for all eternity. There's a huge difference. But the symptoms of love are the same. Gauranga Mahaprabhu emphasized tears while chanting the holy name. Now the 8th and the final verse. Ainanda tanu jakinkaram. He calls out to Shri Krishna. O son of Nand, O Nand Kumar, I am drowning in the ocean of Maya. I am not loving you. I am forming my attachments here and there in the world, and I call them love, and I am expecting happiness from these people. I'm drowning in Maya. I beg you, O divine son of Nand Maharaj, I beg you, O Sham Sundar, take me out of this mud. Take me out of these attachments. Take me away from the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. Gauranga Mahaprabhu teaches us how to pray to Shri Krishna, how to pray to God. We are accustomed to praying to God for a reason. The reason is that we want something from Him. We want better health, we want perfect health, or perhaps we want more wealth, perhaps we want a certain worldly person. Many people pray to God for a child. The childless couples want children from God. Someone wants this, another person wants that. We say that, I am so devoted that I go to Tirupati Balaji every year. I go to Vaishno Devi every year. When the question is asked, why do you go there every year? Many people go to Tirupati Balaji and they shave off their head. They offer their hair to God. Now, what kind of thing is that? Offering hair to God. Imagine it's your birthday and you open your birthday present and it's hair. Not even a wig, just hair, cut hair. And you'd be disgusted. What kind of present, what kind of thing is it? Is this a joke? No, it's no joke. I'm offering you my hair. Now, you're not going to be happy with this gift. We offer that to God. I am giving you my hair. So now you give me a gift also. You give me money. You give me name, fame. You give me a good family. You give me this. You give me that. We ask God. It's not like, okay, I'm sacrificing my hair. Just like that. No. I'm sacrificing this. I'm giving you this. So it is a custom that you give me a gift back. So you give me something. We go with this desire within us, and true lovers of God know that this is not devotion. This is mere selfishness. It's not selfish devotion. It is mere selfishness. There's no devotion in it. Whether you are lighting a candle in the church or lighting the diya in Deepak in the temple, whether you are bowing your head or you are holding onto your ears and saying Toba, Toba, Toba. There are many ways of practicing devotion, many methods, many rituals, many ceremonies. It doesn't matter which house of worship you are in. The fact is that if you're asking God for something worldly, or even for Swargalok after death, or even for liberation, then you are selfish. Not a selfish devotee, you are just selfish then. We are merely selfish then. Gauranga Mahaprabhu teaches us to get rid of all the selfishness and not even ask for liberation. He teaches us to chant the name of God with love, with tears streaming from the eyes, because when you love someone and that someone is not in front of you, you haven't seen him for a long, long time, wouldn't you cry for him? When someone cries for God, why do we ask, why are you crying? It's not good. Calm down. Drink this water. It's good. It's good to cry for God. Tears are best used when they are used for God. Ramakrishna Paramhans, such a great personality, he used to say, people shed buckets and buckets of tears for the world, but who really cries for God? How many people cry for God? We shed so many tears for the world and we don't think anything about it. And we hardly cry for God. Gauranga Mahaprabhu tells us, cry for God. And he himself cried for God. And he left the world at the tender age of 48, but he has left so much behind. However, many do not know him. Many do not know that he was Radha and Krishna combined in one form as Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Many do not know that. Many are just discovering him now. Today we celebrate Mahaprabhu Jayanti. We are celebrating right here in the evening. Please come and find out more about Gauranga Mahaprabhu in the form of another short talk, and in the form of bhajans and kirtans, and through a leela that is going to be enacted over here, depicting some main events in Mahaprabhuji's life. So Gauranga Mahaprabhu is extremely important for us. His teachings are extremely important for us. He has left behind these 8 verses known as Shikshashtakam, and they benefit us tremendously. So let's find out more about Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Let us follow his teachings. And the good news is that if you wish to know Mahaprabhuji's teachings, all you have to do is to keep coming to Yugal Kunj, and every Sunday and every time there is satsang here, you will hear the philosophy of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, because Jagadguru Shri Kripalu Ji Maharaj's philosophy is exactly that. The only difference is that Shri Maharaj Ji has elaborated on that philosophy. I am not saying that Shri Maharaj Ji has copied that philosophy. No. It's just that Shri Maharaj Ji's philosophy is also philosophy of selfless love for Radha and Krishna. Mahaprabhu Ji has left a little bit behind for us to read. Shri Maharaj Ji has left behind volumes and volumes. He has elaborated on that knowledge. So if you wish to know more about Mahaprabhu Ji, get to know more about Jagadguru Shri Kripalu Ji Maharaj, you will not see a difference at all. And you will get to know who Mahaprabhu Ji was, and what his teachings are. Boliye Gaurang Mahaprabhu ki, Jagadguru Shri Kripalu Ji Maharaj ki, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe.